What you guys got another video? Your Windows 11 PC will be up to 70% faster after this update. Now, Microsoft are working on a Windows 11 update design to accelerate the startup times for certain tasks. Now, this new high performance mode, which some people are calling it low latency profile, has reportedly reached up to 40% faster app load times and 70% faster interface launch times, which is absolutely staggering compared to the sluggishness that a lot of people have complained about with Windows 11. And the way Microsoft have achieved this is by adding a performance boost, by ramping up the computer's CPU to maximum frequency in short bursts. Now, this also allows the execution of high number of operations each second it's in use. So the Windows Insider program testers have said that while using this new low latency profile mode, reports of each processing boost can last up to 1 to 3 seconds, and it begins when you start the app or load up an interface, for instance, like Explorer. And this will cause the CPU to cause a maximum spike in the frequency. And it'll look something like this. You will get either a big spike like this when you're using certain applications like Edge or Outlook, or using the Start menu or File Explorer, or something along those lines. And you should get a massive spike. Now, this spike can last milliseconds or to 1 second to up to 3 seconds I've seen online. So depending on what Microsoft are planning to do here, it isn't really sort of a fix. Now, not everyone is happy with Microsoft for using this brief performance boost, because critics are saying that it shouldn't be necessary to whack up your CPU to full power in order to be able to make it more snappier. Now, some people are not happy with Microsoft's approach to fixing a problem. What they've done is used your CPU to basically make the Start menu open up faster, or Windows Explorer or Edge open up faster. And this, of course, is spiking your CPU, which is going to cause throttling. And also it will make your fans kick up on your machine every time the CPU hits 100%. So I'm not so sure it's a good approach, personally, myself, especially when we're talking about reducing utilization, and yet Microsoft are using 100% CPU just to boost the performance on your Start menu, Windows Explorer, and other applications like Outlook and Edge. Now, Scott Helselman, who works for Microsoft, says your smartphone already does this constantly every time you touch the screen. It wakes up cores, boosts clocks, and renders a frame. It then drops back down to idle. Milliseconds later, you've discovered dramatic frequency scaling. And this was in response to some backlash from a lot of people. Also, how is this going to affect people with lower end CPUs? I'm not sure you're going to notice it much with a Ryzen 9 or a high-end Intel processor, but over on Windows Central, they've actually got an example right here. On the right-hand side is the low latency, and on the left is just your standard Windows 11. And you can see here, with low latency enabled, which I will show in future videos because I need to enable the feature, you can see it's actually responding a lot faster and opening up the Explorer quicker, and other applications. You can see them opening up Explorer and things like that, and it is opening up a lot faster. But at what cost? So I'll leave the links for all this information in the video description. So if you're not aware that Windows updates are coming to you very soon, it's called the K2 update, and it's going to have a lot of improvements to Windows 11. Now, Microsoft are trying to move Windows 11 in the right direction and give you more control and give you a better experience with Windows 11. But for some people, it's just not enough, and they will just continue to hate Microsoft and Windows. And then you get people that use Windows that are a little bit fed up with Windows 11, but they are sticking with it. So with Windows updates coming, you are going to get more control over your updates. You can already skip updates immediately during the out-of-box experience, as I've shown in previous videos. There's a little picture right there showing you a skip button, which allows you to skip, and you can do this at the desktop. It does seem to update Windows a lot faster at the desktop. This also speeds up the installation process. There's also new controls for pausing updates, which I've already covered on this channel as well. Now, this is nothing new because there was registry hacks that you could use to basically pause updates for longer periods. But what Microsoft are doing here is offering a 35-day roll-in paused update program where you can pause updates for 35 days and then you can repause them for another 35 days for as long as you want. You just can continue this roll-in period. Now, they don't obviously want you to pause updates for months on end because that would make the system vulnerable, but they are making changes to Windows 11. And for some people, it's just never going to be enough. Some people are just never going to accept some of these changes because they hate Microsoft so much or they hate Windows so much, and yet they're still using Windows. And for some people, they're not using Windows, they're using Linux, and they're just creating drama inside of comments of YouTube channels like myself, and maybe to lure people over to the Linux platform. And I'm pretty sure that there's a Discord server going around with lots of people on it that actually go to channels to troll. And that's exactly what's happening because they disappear for a while and then they come back like a bad smell. But anyway, now I think what Microsoft need to do is to prove to people that Windows 11 is worth the upgrade or worth installing, because despite the support ending for Windows 10 in October 2025, there's over a billion users still using Windows 10, and they need to find a way of getting nearly 40% of Windows users that are on Windows 10 over to the new operating system, which is Windows 11. Normally by now people have already transitioned over, but I think there's been so many problems with Windows 11, people just don't want to upgrade to it. And a lot of it's to do with bloatware, advertising, and also to do with recall and to do with Copilot. And people are starting to choose the other versions of Windows with no bloat in them, with longer support, so they don't have to deal with all of this. And I think Microsoft need to look at what people really want, because giving people a way to pause updates is not going to convince people. They need more. They need more convincing because the damage has already been done. Lots of people have left to go to Linux, and rightly so for some people, because they're stuck with an old system that can't run Windows 11 because of the strict hardware requirements. And you've also got other problems that people just don't want to upgrade to Windows 11 and they'd rather stay on Windows 10. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, what you think of these new changes. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to all my YouTube members who joined my YouTube members group. I do appreciate the support, and I shall catch you in the next video, or I'll see you on the Discord server. Bye for now.